Freezing Inferno here with another classic Doctor Who review, joined by Rainiac.
Yes, he's driving me along for the ride yet again.
And the ride had a few bumps along the road. See, we were supposed to go to 1988 with Remembrance of the Daleks, but we kind of missed it by 20 years or so, and instead have landed in the height of the swinging 60s, 1968, with The Mind Robber.
Yes, and I feel profoundly ripped off because you promised me unlimited rice pudding.
Alright, you'll get it.
And the only reason I'm not suing you for false advertising is because this was actually a pretty good story.
Damn right it was. Starring Patrick Troughton as the second Doctor. And Troughton is fantastic. I would say I'd put him at my top 3 the classic Doctors. And, well, this was your first exposure to him, so what did you think?
Well, it's not my first exposure to him as an actor. I've seen him in other things on British television. But it's my first exposure to him in a full story of Doctor Who, and I thought he was pretty damn terrific. He does tend to overact, though, but not in a hammy sense of a word.
In a good way, yeah. Oh, my word!
Yeah, that's sort of overacting, and also very expressive with the hands.
Yeah, Matt Smith took that because there is a story going around that he called up Stephen Moffat at like 3 in the morning, having just seen Tomb of the Cybermen. He was like, "Oh my god, this is the most fantastic thing I've ever seen!"
I never heard that story, but I think Matt Smith is a subject for another day.
Yeah, but Troughton, really good. Really great.
Yeah.
And this story also really good and really great, but it's for reasons that, well, have to do with the time. You see, the Patrick Troughton era, a lot of it, pretty much the previous season to this story, followed the base under siege format. The Doctor and company arrive at some place and it ends up being attacked by some monster, like the Cybermen, or the Great Intelligence, or the Ice Warriors, or something like that.
Yeah, if you want a modern equivalent of the base under siege, like recent times, Rebel Flesh or Cold War.
Pretty much. They've tried it, and well, doing a lot of base under siege in one season kind of made the formula a little stale, but there were attempts to invigorate it and make it better, like you mentioned. But the Mind Robber, oh god. If I had to describe the Mind Robber in one word, it would be trippy.
I'd have gone for psychedelic, but trippy works too.
Trippy, psychedelic, whatever the hell you want to call it. Mind Robber is weird as hell.
Yeah, and this is in black and white. Can you imagine what this would have been like in colour?
About the same. I think black and white just makes it weirder.
I think colour would have possibly overloaded my senses, though, with some of the stuff that goes on.
That's kind of like I haven't seen this serial, but I've read that color makes it weirder. The Claws of Axos, a Third Doctor serial. Something we could do someday. It'd be the first time that we are both watching a serial for the first time.
Depends if it fully exists, because I'm not going to watch
it
with like parts
exists.
missing.
It exists.
But
yeah.
As Frezno's alluded to, there's a lot of trippy stuff, and it's hard to go into all of it, but it definitely reflects the tone of the 60s.
Yeah, and it does make sense once you get to like the middle of it, but we're not going to spoil that because the simple reason is you need to experience this episode and just try to figure out what the hell is going on. Like, I'd seen it before, so I knew everything, but this was Rainiac's first time watching, and, well, it's cool for a first-time viewer. You can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I worked out what was going on about halfway through the story, so there were 5 parts in total, between 15 and 20 minutes each. I worked out what was going on halfway through episode 3. I almost got it at the start of episode 2, because there's a fairly big clue if you know where to look for, but of course, I didn't know where to look for, because I went in blind.
Exactly.
Very inventive solution, though. Very inventive.
Yeah. But when you have no idea what's going on, it just enhances it. Like, me watching it, I'm going, okay, this is weird, but I still understand what the point is. But for you, it's like, what is this? I don't even understand what the hell.
Yeah, I don't think I went the whole hog and said, what is this, I don't even, but I was pretty surprised.
Indeed. So let's talk about the Doctor's companions this episode. He has 2, and he usually had 2. 3 for his start of the second Doctor's run, but he usually had 2. And the two this time are the ones he had until the end of the second Doctor's run. First we have Jamie McCrimmon, Scottish guy. He was there for pretty much the entirety of Patrick Troughton's run, from the second serial on to the very last, and he's quite good.
Yeah, I think Jamie's pretty good. He does spend a large part of episode 1 of this serial just berating the Doctor at every opportunity, which is rather amusing to watch.
And
but then
we have the other companion, Zoe. Now, Zoe is from the year 2000, and
oh, Zoe.
This is the year 2000 as envisioned in 1968, so of course it's like spandex suits and future cities and space stations and all sorts of other stuff that never actually came to pass. 60s utopianism hard at work. Now, she's supposed to be a computer genius, and in the next serial, The Invasion, she does demonstrate this. But in this one, she's kind of dumb.
Yeah, in fact, no, let's not beat around the bush here. She's very dumb. There are a couple of situations where any sensible person would not do what she did.
Yeah. There's a couple of situations where the Doctor is telling her, hey, don't do this, or you gotta do it. And she's like, but no, I need to do it.
Yeah, he's like, don't do this because it's stupid or it's dangerous. And she's like, but thou must, and she goes out anyway.
Yeah, there are definitely situations where the danger comes from her directly not listening to the smart alien time traveler she's with.
Or indeed the Scottish guy.
Or indeed the Scottish guy. Because he has a little more sense. He gets into danger himself a little, but... yeah.
But it's different. He gets into danger for different reasons.
Which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's necessarily stupid, apart from one moment, which is hilarious.
Yeah. But another thing about Zoe, well, and this sort of leads into another point of ours.
Yeah.
The episode 1 cliffhanger. Now, we said I didn't want to spoil the main plot of the episode and what the deal is with this strange psychedelic experience, but got to talk about the episode 1 cliffhanger, just because it's another instance of that phenomenon we discovered, Moffat nicking.
Yes, Stephen Moffat is a thief. We've established this throughout these reviews, and it happened again.
If you don't care about the spoilers, you can just sort of listen on. But if you do not want to know about the episode 1 cliffhanger, just sort of jump ahead a little. I don't know. Plug your ears. I don't know what to do. Go watch the episode if you really don't want to be spoiled. Cause it's
in other words, if you don't want to know the cliffhangers, mute the sound now.
Yeah, but how will they know when to come back?
No, that won't work. I can't give a wave because it's just my voice.
We trust your judgment, and we're going to talk about the episode 1 cliffhanger now.
Right.
Okay.
Do it.
So after 20 minutes of ramping psychedelic nonsense that you have no idea what's happening, the goddamn TARDIS explodes.
Not even explodes, it just sort of collapses in on itself.
Yeah. Just the police box breaks apart, and the wood flies away, leaving the TARDIS console with Jamie and Zoe hanging on for dear life in the void.
Yeah, onto the console. And that's when we get, perhaps, the greatest cameraman in Doctor Who history, who really earned his money that day, when he zooms in on Zoe's assets.
Yeah.
Not those assets. There's a pun in the word. Work it out, people.
Man, you're really leading into another point that we're going to talk about with that. But, yeah, that happens.
Yeah, that happens.
And then Zoe clings to the console and belts out a big scream.
She has a real set of pipes on her, Zoe.
Yeah. But she's no Bonnie Langford.
No, she's no Mel.
Yeah. That's why they hired Bonnie Langford, because she could scream really loud. And, oh, God. The first time I heard that, I was like...
Well, they're silly in America, she can act.
Oh. Oh, God, you went there.
Here comes the black helicopters.
You haven't even seen Trial of a Time Lord yet. You don't know.
Oh, God.
One day.
One day you will force that upon me, but now is not that day. Now is time for more Mind Robber speak.
Alright, Mind Robber speak, yeah.
I'll just quickly go through the other cliffhangers, because, again, they don't give away anything.
No, they don't. They're just weird things.
Second episode is a horse. Seriously.
Yeah.
Third episode is a thing that looks like it was taken straight out of Finch's Monster-matic.
What's the next cliffhanger? A monster that blows itself up?
No, we've already done that with Pandora Opens.
Oh my god.
Well, that wasn't a monster that blew itself up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the fourth episode cliffhanger, the companions get trapped in a giant book.
Yeah. This story's all over the place.
Clearly they haven't played Mario Party 4 and didn't go to the holes in the middle of the page.
Oh, God. So another really weird thing that this episode does, it only adds to the weirdness. There's a reason they did this, too. But I'll just basically set it up for you. So Jamie gets, and I'm not making this up, he gets turned into a cardboard cutout with no face.
Hang on a minute, hang on. You gotta get the context. He gets shot by a redcoat.
Okay, he gets shot by a redcoat and turned into a cardboard cutout with no face. That doesn't make it any easier to understand, you know.
No, but it's hilarious still.
Yeah, okay. So, no face, and the doctor has to put his face back together. But the doctor messes it up. So, for the rest of episode 2 and the start of episode 3, Jamie is played by a completely different actor.
He sure is, and the reason for this, as I discovered later, is Fraser Hines, who plays Jamie, had the chicken pox that day.
So, they had to recast Jamie.
So they had to replace him with a completely different actor.
So I guess they invented this face-changey gimmick.
He does come back, though.
Oh yeah, eventually they fix his face up, but...
Again, he gets shot by a redcoat, turned into a cardboard cutout, and the doctor fixes it. This is not the first time this has sort of happened, though. If I can go on a slight tangent here. Power Rangers famously did this when 3 of the actors quit.
Yeah.
They used stock footage and only showed them in like their helmets.
There you go.
And then later on, Jason David Frank shows up again in Dino Thunder as the Black Ranger, and he went away on a vacation, so they just have his voice and then an actor in his suit, and he never takes the helmet off. And the explanation for this in the story, and I shit you not, he can't take his helmet off because something happens in the episode.
Well, they kind of do have to make up these sort of things when these emergency situations happen.
They actually wrote that into the episode, though, until, of course, he came back from vacation, at which point he could magically take his helmet off again and all was right with the world.
Could you imagine this happening in, like, New Doctor Who? Like, Matt Smith gets infected by an alien virus, and all of a sudden, Benedict Cumberbatch is playing the Doctor for the rest of the 30 minutes?
Tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Just as an
You have
example.
just created fan fiction. That's what you've just done.
Oh. Oh, I see what you did there.
You have doomed us all.
I see what you did there. I really did.
But don't... No.
I'm not gonna
As I say,
elaborate
you've
on
doomed
that.
us all, but let's move on. So that happens with
Right.
Jamie, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. And well, episode 2 has a lot going for it. Not just the whole face-changing mess, but as you said, the Riddler would be proud.
Yes, he really would, because this entire story has a lot of puzzles and, dare I say, riddles in it. And one of them, actually, I'm convinced one of them showed up in an episode of, like, 60s Batman with Frank Gorshin as the Riddler.
It's funny because ITV, a British channel, it was airing opposite Doctor Who episodes of 60s Batman. So I really want to hope that episode 2 of The Mind Robber aired opposite a 60s Batman with Frank Gorshin Riddler in it. And just some British kid is like, Batman, I don't want to listen to dumb riddles. I'm going to switch on Doctor Who. Oh, bollocks.
I'm not sure a kid like who's 9 years old in the 60s would say, oh, bollocks. But
Hey, you don't know.
no, because I wasn't born then. But
Neither was I. We don't know what the hell
the
they
one
do.
the riddle in question is what is a door not a door, by the way, and I'm sure that was in an episode of Batman as well.
Yeah, and there's
I mean,
one
there were
riddle
so
in
many
episode 2.
dodgy puns and riddles when the Riddler showed up.
I remember the.
I think my favourite sort of
Batman
lame
movie.
one was when is a suit something you can't wear when it's a lawsuit?
Oh,
Yes,
the
that actually
66
happened.
Batman TV movie had some really weird damn riddles.
When he launches them out of missiles.
Yes. So there's another fun thing that everything fun I'm talking about in this episode shows up in episode 2. I got to talk about the earlier episodes because you can't really talk about the later episodes without spoiling the entire concept of the mind robber.
Yeah, we're not going to talk too much about the later episodes, but
They're
carry
good.
on.
Yeah. In episode 2, there's sort of a stock henchman set of characters, rather, walking about. And I don't want to reveal what they are, but I will say this. They have the best walking sound effect since the Cybermen in the Revived series. And I'm just going to put it in right around here. Isn't that a cool sound?
I don't know, I didn't hear anything.
You're ruining the moment.
Immersion gone! Fourth wall broken!
Fourth wall flew away with the TARDIS when it blew up. Oh no.
But no, it is a pretty cool sound effect. It did remind me of the Cybermen. I mean, people have ripped on the Cybermen stomp, right?
Yeah.
Going,
I love
oh,
the
they should
Cybermen
be silent killers, herp a derp. No. You hear that stomp and you are intimidated. That's the whole point of the stomp.
Yeah. The Revived series Cybermen aren't silent killers. Like, maybe the old Cybermen were, but...
That's the point I'm getting at. People saying they should be silent killers. Instead, you've got them going, boom, 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 boom. That's not the effect, by the way, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I think that wraps it up for the Mind Robber, actually. Don't want to talk
Apart
too
from
much
one
about
thing.
the concept. Well, what's that?
Apart from one thing. You kind of hinted at it earlier. And I'm sorry if we annoy all the feminists that are watching this.
Oh. What's that?
Zoe's ass.
Zoe's ass.
So basically, in the cliffhanger that I mentioned, or actually Frezno mentioned, with the TARDIS, she's clinging onto the control console, screaming for the Doctor, and the cameraman zooms in on her.
I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, but the cameraman actually zooms in on her butt.
Yeah, that happens.
And she's also in like a spangly, futuristic costume.
Yeah.
So the cameraman really earned his money that day, and I am not a sexist, but that was wow.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned that in this recording.
We might have, but I was a bit more subtle.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what happens. So that's the Mind Robber. Go watch it. It's really good and really trippy, and you'll have no idea what's going on.
It's not bad at all. It really is pretty damn good, and once you realise what's going on, it's very clever.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant what the deal with the Mind Robber is.
Well, I wouldn't... Well, yeah, actually it is brilliant. Yeah. I'm lying.
Alright, so next time we're hopefully gonna pop into, well, technically 1988, but that story is set in 1963, so we only gotta pop off just a little bit to go to Remembrance of the Daleks.
And hopefully this time I'll get my unlimited rice pudding.
Yes, we should hope. So, see you then.
Bye.